Good afternoon and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about something that I really think can help people, and it's helped me throughout the course of time as well. And it's the realization that the narcissist was a trap, and we just need to be glad that we escaped. One of the things that first was brought to my attention, so after I did a reverse discard. That is, I got out of the relationship because I was pushed to it and the abuse was that bad. As you guys can attest, it was so bad. And at the time I got out of the relationship, I did not, with the narcissist, I did not know that this person was a narcissist. I didn't know what narcissism was. I did not go through I didn't have the channels, the insight, the wisdom. At that time, all I knew was the relationship was so bad, and this person was just incredibly mean-spirited, difficult to get along with, manipulative, cutting, critical, and so I got out. Still not, like I said, having the knowledge. But one of the first things that arose in my mind, or that I think God absolutely revealed to me in a still small voice, was, Brian, she was a trap. So the first thing I knew was that this person was a trap. That relationship was a trap. It was there to get me, to entangle me. So that really has stuck with me. And I bring this up because there are so many times for people who are unhealed, or even people who are healed and are down the road, or just various times if we have a rough day, we struggle. Maybe you ran into the narcissist somewhere. Maybe they tried to hoover you. Maybe you're just recalling something that occurred. Maybe you had a dream. Who knows? But sometimes you wonder to yourself, was it really that bad? What if they changed? What are they doing now? Where are they? There are so many different emotions, and every once in a while, even people who are healed can be triggered a little bit. And I don't mean triggered to having some meltdown or some catastrophic thing, but you can just think of something in an event every once in a while, every so often, and it just sets you back a little bit. And if you're fresh out of the relationship or you're still really healing, it can set you back a lot. But I guess it's what I'm trying to tell you guys is, and I want to say today, is that you better believe and always keep in mind when you have those emotions and those thoughts, whatever they are, that narcissist was a trap for you. And you are so fortunate that you got out of it. Right now, some poor sucker is involved with that person. Maybe multiple people are involved and entangled. But they probably have that one primary source that they're with, and then other people they're cheating or triangulating or talking to on dating apps or whatever on the side. But that person who is the primary supply, who's entrenched, they're getting it. They're getting it the way you got it. They may be getting it worse. If it's the love bomb, they're being love bombed. But even as I've done a video about this, even the love bomb wasn't that great actually, if you analyze it. It wasn't actually that good. There were red flags and things all over the love bomb stage that we just ignored because we were caught up in the mask of the narcissist. But go back in time for a minute. These people steal everything from you. Think about the abuse you went through. Think about maybe when you're at dinner and they triangulated with you with somebody who was there. Or think about how many times they brought up an ex. I'm just bringing up an example. Some of them might pertain to your situation, some of them might not. But think about every time they were incredibly critical of you, or they questioned your judgment. Sorry, I gotta itch myself here. Scratch myself. But every time that they questioned your judgment, every time they told you you were foolish or somehow incapable, maybe you couldn't cook right, or you couldn't drive, or you were a bad partner, or you couldn't fix anything, or you're not that bright, or they compared you to an ex in some physical way. This stuff was all the time with the narcissist. Just recall for a minute, the abuse was bad. It was probably worse than you're even remembering. Maybe you had to look for items that they hid. This was popular for the one I was with, and I only realized it after the fact. But how many times, keys would go missing, and I'd find them someplace I already looked 10 times. Or her keys would go missing, and they end up in one of my bags, a backpack or something that there's no way I put them in there, but she did. And then she was going to blame me for losing them, and you know the story. Gaslighting to the nth degree. So, all the things you went through, you are just lucky and fortunate, I want to say blessed, to have gotten the realization about who these people are. They are so utterly devastating and destructive. And the main point is, the narcissist is like, they're like the weeds in the field. I'm going to use this example again because I think it's so apt. It's such a good description. Jesus talks about in Matthew 13 the parable of the weeds among the wheat, and the fact that basically the world is this farm, this crop area. Just a farm. It's a farmland. This world is basically like that, and inside of it are good crops planted and bad crops planted by the enemy. He plants the bad crops. Christ planted the good. The weeds that grow up are those seeds that were sown by the enemy. Guys, the narcissist is the weed. They're the weed that grows up to strangle out the good crops. So in this world, or the land, you survey it and it's full of weeds. And it's full of good crops. A lot less good crops actually than weeds in effect, but that's a different discussion. But everywhere you go, you have to look. These people are those who are scattered around this earth that are there to simply entangle you, ensnare you, stop your growth, impede your growth, get you off course, blow you up. And they do exactly that. And they do it in every way. They take your physical health because you're so emotionally drained and stressed and anxiety riddled that you constantly have to endure mental hardship. You're so full of that stuff that ultimately it manifests physically. And you have physical problems, ultimately. So maybe you remember coming out of that relationship, maybe you gained a bunch of weight, maybe you lost a bunch of weight, maybe you had heart problems, maybe you had high stress and blood pressure problems, because that's what they do to you. So they did it physically. Stick around long enough and you better believe they will achieve their central purpose, and that is to spiritually destroy you. I know that I've gotten a decent bit of subscribers recently, and I appreciate all of you. I really do, and your wonderful comments. I'm so grateful that this is helping people. But I know I've also lost some that have joined, and the reason is simple. They don't want to see the spiritual aspect of things. They don't want to think narcissism has any spiritual connections. But I'm telling you, if you don't see it, you're missing the main substance of what is behind the narcissist. Why they do the things they do. Why they plot evil. They scheme. They're not happy unless they're in chaos. They wear a mask and take it off, which tells you they have control over what they're doing. That's not a mental impairment. I've had many people make comments to that sort. They have a mentally impaired son, daughter, relative, whatever, and they're like, yeah, they don't intentionally do harm. That's not what happens with a mental impairment, a mental disorder. You only plot and scheme and do fantastic evil, and that repeatedly, if you're spiritually disordered. And that's what narcissism is. It's a spiritual disorder. I know a lot of you guys appreciate that. If you're still not sure about that idea, then stick with me. Stick with the channel, keep watching stuff, because I'm telling you, the spiritual component is the substance, it's the backbone of the narcissistic problem. So they're already spiritually disordered and corrupt. Many of them are reprobate, meaning that they're beyond help. They've given themselves so far over the powers of darkness that their conscience is seared. There's nothing they can do. There's nothing you can do. And even scripturally speaking, God does not save a reprobate. By definition, a reprobate is gone too far. They're morally depraved. That's what it means. And you don't come back from that going that far over. Not that far. So these people's ultimate goal is to destroy you spiritually. But they'll wreck you every way getting there. Physically, financially. If you've got a great house, you might have to get rid of it. You might not be able to afford it. If you've got a big bank account, you may not after the narcissist. If you've got great health, you probably won't after the narcissist if you stick around long enough, and they will take your spiritual life. So when you're thinking about, should I miss this person? You know, a song triggered you, a memory triggered you, hearing someone's name, a dream, any number of things can happen, and they set us back for a second, and they make us think, man, I do wonder, like, where is he? Where is she? What's he or she doing? And I know I keep coming back to this one because it's a huge one. We all fight this battle, and I'm going to tell you, even those who are really good and healed up, no matter what anyone tells you, you can still be a little bit triggered or a little bit set back for at least a second. It's not that you're missing that person, but you do have this thought of, primarily, what if they're actually not like this anymore? And this is why their hoovering attempts are often so successful in people who aren't really in good shape after the relationship. Because you do want, they play on this. I've committed myself to Christ now. I'm different. I'm going to church regularly. I'm doing Bible studies. I've been seeing a therapist, I've been seeing a therapist for a long time, and I've really made a lot of steps. Or the famous one I heard all the time, drop comments if you did, I've worked so hard on myself. These are the things that they tell you because they know how effective it is. Because it draws on that thought in your mind that maybe, just maybe, they actually changed. And we think about that with whoever they're with now, don't we? What if that person's getting a good version of the narcissist? What if they're getting somebody that I didn't get? And then you start to really your mind starts to really run away with you. Well, what if the person they're with is just, man, they're just so fantastic. They're so wonderful that the narcissist just saw the light in them and they knew, oh, I got to get this right because this one's so good. Guys, they do not do that. They're not capable of doing that. I'm telling you, they're not capable of doing it. More than just ruminating about these things, okay? And I know, again, it's way worse early on. It's hard if you're still there. I get it. I totally understand. You'll get past it. Keep watching the videos. Keep praying. Keep processing it. Self-isolate if you need to. I know I had to do that big time. You'll get there. You'll get there. But even when you get there, you might still have times where you wonder a little bit if this person changed. Not only, though, are these wrong things ultimately to think about. When they come up, you've got to nip them in the bud. You've got to transition your thoughts to other things. Chiefly what I'm going to tell you here before I close this. But not only should we not be thinking about these questions ultimately, what we should be doing instead is saying, thank God I got out of it. Thank God I got out of it. You know what I'm saying? How much time that we spend in the recovery process and then way down the road even, wondering about the narcissist in myriad ways. Not only should we not be doing that, we should always be thanking God that we got out of it, that we got the knowledge. Do you know how many people, guys, don't ever get the knowledge about this? I know that awareness, narcissistic awareness, is growing, but I'm going to tell you, most people still don't have a clue what it is. Do you know how many people right now are trapped in narcissistic relationships, whether it be a parent or a child, brother, sister, romantic partner, friend? They're trapped in these relationships because they don't know what they're dealing with. We are among the blessed ones that we figured it out. It was revealed to us one way or another. And I'm going to say, by God, that's how I figured it out. I'm sure it's probably how you figured it out. So, not only should we not ruminate about these things, we need to be so grateful on a regular basis that we are not in it anymore. Somebody right now is in the place you were in. Think about the narcissist that you had a connection with. If you're out of it, and I pray you're out of it, if you're not, please get out of it, find a way. Somebody has replaced you, meaning they're getting everything you used to get. They're laying awake sometimes all night with anxiety, wondering what in heck, what is this relationship? This is crazy. They're walking on eggshells. They're full of anxiety. They're doubting themselves. They're gaining or losing weight. They're losing their spiritual life. They are losing their hobbies, their friends, family, the things they love. They are becoming, because when you're in a relationship with one of these people, even if it's parental and things, certainly, but when you're in a relationship, they are going to impede your progress, period. And the longer you're with them, and the more drawn in, and the more trauma bonded you get to them, the less productive you are going to be. I know I lost 90% of my ministry while I was with this person, just because they absorb all of your time, and you cannot stop thinking about them all the time. I wasn't writing nearly as much. I wasn't doing videos of any sort nearly as much. I wasn't having discussions with people nearly as much. They take everything that's near and dear to you. And some poor schmo right now is in the place you were in, and they don't probably even know what's going on. Be elated that you got out of this. I'm dead serious. That goes for me and goes for everybody watching this. Be excited that you're not trapped. Someone else is trapped right now, and you're not. So no matter what you think, how much rumination you have about the narcissist and the questions that still might come up and the healing process and all of that, the overarching key and the theme is you need to be joyous, overjoyed, praising God that you figured it out and you got out. Even if they discarded you, you still got out. And they probably did it because you started to figure it out. Probably. So guys, I want you to be comforted about this. I hope this is an encouraging message here today. That you don't have to go through it anymore. Every time you doubt yourself, every time you think about it, go back and think about what they did to you. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, go back and you'll be refreshed real quick. Oh yeah, it was bad. And not only now should I not be having to go back and ruminate, my goal was to get to a place where I am simply overjoyed that I'm not in it anymore. And we can actually go a step further and try to help people who are in it. I've had so many, I can't tell you how many discussions I've had, just came up organically with people and pinpointed very quickly they got a narcissist on their hands. Have all of them gotten out of their relationships? No. But all of them at least have narcissism on their radar now, and some of them have gotten out. We can pass it on and help other people. We don't want to see anybody being strangled by these weeds, these toxic, venomous energy vampires, Satan's foot soldiers, as that's what they are. They're spiritually disordered, and they want to make you spiritually disordered. So anyway, guys, let's rejoice. We got out. We escaped. The narcissist was a trap. Just be glad that you escaped. So alright guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. Drop comments if this resonated with you. Come at you with another one here soon. Until then, God bless.